Thank you, Mr. Chair. You know, like we raised an incredible amount of tax increases last session, and I know we face yet again another budget deficit. So here we are again, and I literally sat in the same spot and predicted this. But what bothered me most about last session is that there were so many other options that didn't harm people, and it's options just like this where, you know, there was other budget savings proposed, other bills we could have heard. A Stokesbury bill that would have saved $11 million, right? I mean, you can go down the list. I have a whole list of like $3 billion in reductions that I put together in a budget framework, and the list goes on. But at the end of the day, what bothered me the most is that, you know, we were hurting people on single mothers on TANF, and we were hurting the age blind and disabled program from their recoveries. Those people, you know, like the weakest, voiceless, most defenseless people in our society, and that frustrates me. And here we are again, and it's like sometimes these seem like the lowest hanging fruit, but it's like that doesn't mean we need to pick that fruit. We got to do the hard work of making a sustainable budget that that is structurally sound enough to survive into the future without harming people like infants and toddlers who have special needs. And I take it a little personally because these are kids like mine. And my kids have benefited from special education, and they have benefited from early supports and interventions. And I have a 19-year-old that is out of my house right now. Knock on wood, he stays out of my house. But if it weren't for the special education throughout his life and the early supports and interventions that, you know, we've been promoting here in the state of Washington, maybe he doesn't have a job, maybe he doesn't have a driver's license, maybe he struggles throughout school, right? So these things are critically important. Like Rep. Penner was saying, you know, like the money we spend on this end of the stream saves us incredible amounts of money later on in the stream. And I'm just going to say, I know what's going to happen. This bill's going to get voted out. I'm voting no, of course. I don't think we should do this in the end. But, you know, if the idea is we want to spend $30 million because the governor's budget, what it said is the request legislation says delink the special ed multiplier. What it didn't say is drop an amendment that saves you $31 million on the backs of infants and toddlers who have special needs. So I don't want to get ramped up here, but I'm getting a little ramped up. Sorry, Rep. Bergquist, I promised. All that's to say, like, let me sit down with you. I'm sure Rep. Penner would join as well, and others on my side. Let us go work together, find $31 million. Or whatever it might take, so that we don't have to do more harm to this program, even if we can't fund it more like what I would have asked for. So urging a no.